My family is here. My mom, hi Sandy, my grandparents, hey Kat, my aunt and uncle, they're all here. Hey Darla. Ray's here too. So Ray's always with me. It's a beautiful day. Very, very beautiful day. So I'm getting ready for my interview with Ethan Nichols, running for Pennsylvania State Representative. And if you are voting in the election on Tuesday, I would vote for him if I were you. I can't vote, I don't live here, but if you live here, I'm endorsing Ethan. And I don't usually endorse candidates. Well, okay, that's not true. Sometimes I endorse candidates because I get to know them as people. They don't pay me. In fact, I have friends who have run for office many times. Hi, Ren Nutterback. So, yeah, I do endorse candidates. If I know them well and I'm working on their campaign. Anyway, I just got dressed up. My car is next to my mom's grave. I basically spent the last, I don't know, 2 hours here in the cemetery because I love cemeteries. Hi, Heidi. Some people don't like cemeteries. My husband never liked cemeteries, but this is a place of comfort for me. This is a place of peace. I mean, rest in peace is a real thing. My mom's here. Even if I don't know anyone in the cemetery, I still like to go to cemeteries. I like to run in cemeteries. Very nice place to, and I'm a runner, so you know, jogger, walker now. I'm more of a walker. I don't run so much. Well, I walk backwards. You guys see me do that. I did that today in the cemetery. I got a real good workout today. No, my dad was cremated actually, and his remains or his cremation remains, whatever, were spread along Long Beach Island's what's it called? Well, Barnegat Lighthouse area. So dad is already in the ocean. He's probably been around the world several times. But yeah, my mom is right behind my grandparents. And then my mom's brother is right next to my mom. Aw, thank you so much for the sparkles and the stars, Retro King. I appreciate that so much. So would you guys like to meet my parents? I mean, my mother. Yeah, my dad, you get to see him all the time at the beach. But this is my mom. Wait, first of all, this is my grandparents. These were two of the greatest people in the whole world. I love them so much. Macy and Grammy. I mean, her name was Anne. My grandfather, I called him Poppy. He called her Annie. Married 63 joyous years. So I did something different this time. I'm not putting rocks on the, and Heidi knows that Jewish people always put rocks on the tops. You see all the rocks on top of some people's graves, but yeah, so my grandparents have a lot of rocks. It's a source of pride. Anyway, I decided to put seashells and coral on my grandparents' gravestone. So that's from me. And I gave that's Poppy's collection, and I gave Grammy some pretty pink seashells. And look, there's a little baby seashell for the new baby. And this one, I think that's called a cigar one or something. So yeah, so that's what I did for Grams and Pops. And then we go over here to my Uncle Eddie and Aunt Rhoda. And I just gave Uncle Eddie a simple seashell. He was an amazing engineer. He was a simple guy though. And Aunt Rhoda, I gave her a pretty pink one. And for my mother, oh my goodness, we had an afternoon together. Like I gave her all of these seashells signify her three children, her two grandchildren, and new children to come, and the children that she lost. So all of, because I know she's with these other children that we never got to meet, but she's with them now. So all of her children, even if she didn't get to raise them, are represented here in these seashells. And this is a piece of coral from the great coral reef off of the coast of Fort Lauderdale. So, yeah. My crappy uncle died recently. Oh, Heidi. Careful how you speak of the dead. Just don't do it. So, I don't know anything about babies' names. We're not allowed to ask any questions. We're just trying to be coolful. Anyway, yeah, thank you. Hi, Irish cream. What are you banning? Ceramic. So, hi, Gloria. My mother's tombstone is quite the comical representation of her amazing life. We called her Hobson, aka the Hob. And she was a really amazing person. She was an English teacher. Everyone she ever met became her friend, and she loved everyone. Hi, David. No, this is my family. I'm here, my family site, I guess. And I'm visiting my mom because, sometimes when you're going through a life experience, you honor the dead just as you honor the preborn. And that's what I'm doing. I'm honoring. So Hobson was her nickname because do you remember the movie Arthur? Once in your life you'll find her. Someone who turns your heart around. The next thing you know, you're going down the town. Do, 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 do. Wake up and it's still with you. Even though you left your way cross town, wondering to yourself, hey, what have I found? It's a didn't know in New York City. Hi, Gabby. I meant to say it's nice that you're visiting your family, but you're visiting them at the cemetery. I felt like to go to the cemetery today too. Well, Gabby, it is actually the day of prayer, the National Day of Prayer. And yes, Hobson was the butler. I know it's crazy, but it's true. Yes, Marky Mark knows. If you get caught between the moon and New York City, the best that you can do, the best that you can do is fall in love. Arthur, he does as he pleases. All of his life, his master's toys, and deep in his heart, he knows he's just the one. Living his life one day at a time is showing himself a pretty good time. Laughing each other the way they wanted to be. All right, so how did that relate? Heidi's like, tell me already, dang nabbit. Okay, so Hobson was the butler, right? And yes, I was adopted. And our mom was so great. And we were teenagers and she would drive us all over the place. She took really she was dedicated to making sure that we had very full social lives, lots of activities. We did it all. We went to camp, we went to the movies with our friends, we went to the skating rink, we went everywhere. And when we got in the car, we would tell her where we wanted to go, we would be like, yeah, oh, mom, she'd be like, where are we going today? She'd, whatever. So anyway, the movie Arthur came out and we loved it and we were singing the song and we just thought that Arthur was amazing and the butler was Hobson and we loved the butler. Thank you, Wolf. Welcome to the Beach Report. And so we wanted to we transferred the name Hobson to our mother. So we'd get in the car and we would say, "Home Hobson." So we treated her like she was our butler, but in a loving way, not like, she wasn't our servant or anything, and neither was Hobson, Arthur's servant. He was his dear, dear friend, right? So, aw, thank you, Vicky. It's so good to see you. Goldie yawn. That's funny that you said that. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting misty. Don't know why there's no sun up in the sky, stormy weather. I don't know, that just came out of my mouth. Anywho, so Hobson, yeah, we'd say to the skating rink, Hobson, and when Dudley Morse didn't make it. Oh my gosh, this is a beautiful cemetery, Mark. Thank you for noticing. And I love it here. And so sometimes when I come to visit my mom and my grandparents and my aunt and uncle, I do feel like, and my great grandmother's here, but I can't find her. I'm like, what the heck happened to Grandma Rose? I don't know where she went. Anyway, I'm originally from Pittsburgh. And well, I was adopted, but my family, bunch of Pittsburghers, bunch of Yinzers. No, well, yeah, yeah, they were Grams and Pops. They didn't say Yins, and if you are from Pittsburgh, that's our version of y'all. It's a very local dialect thing to say, and it's kind of I'm not gonna say low class because we all use it and love it, but I was not allowed to talk like that. It is of a certain class. It is an iron workers kind of way to talk. What are yins doing tonight? But oh, Vicky has her surgery tomorrow. Keep everybody prayer warriors. Prayers up for Vicky. We love you, Vicky. Hi, Jeff. Oh, Two Stroke, I did not see you there. Hello, Two Stroke. So good to see you. You guys are amazing. I'm so happy you're here. Anyway, yeah, this morning I was on the rolling hills of golf course. And now I'm staring at down a sunset in the very beautiful cemetery where my family is. I have more family in the cemetery as well. It's not just these guys. If you go to the funeral home where your grandma Rose had her viewing, they should be able to tell you where she's buried. Oh yeah, Rose can tell me everything. We actually have like this family, I call her the angel of death. Rose. If Rose shows up at your house, you're like you're having a funeral. Rose is sweet. I love Rose, but yeah, I don't really want to see Rose on my off time. Anyway, thank you, Jeff. This is a gift from the amazing Miss Molly, who is runs the Saxonburg Museum and talked me into coming back to Saxonburg for the 4th of July. And I don't know if you guys watched that episode of the history of the family Roebling, John Roebling, who invented the steel cable and AKA the Brooklyn Bridge. Really, really cool story. Anyway, they're gonna have a replica of the bridge and using that steel in Saxonburg for the 250th anniversary of our country. And they have asked me to come back to Saxonburg for that celebration, and I think I might even be in a parade. You're going to see her again before you leave. Who, my mom? Yeah, I'll be here, don't worry. Rose is still working on her ball project. Yes. Do you mean the dots? Anyway, yes, Miss Molly, two-stroke, thank you so very much. Super cool hat for super cool Jill. Woo woo. You're the best. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so anyway, I am hanging out, hanging out with my peeps. You know what I love about the cemetery is the things that people have written on their tombstones. As you can see, my mother's, her doctor was a whiz. She isn't really dead at all. She only thinks she is. Now I'll tell you a story about that one. So Hobson, she was so special. She was so funny and witty, and she was always singing and she was always whistling, and she was just a very happy soul, until she wasn't, until my father cheated on her and basically ripped her guts out and ruined her sense of self, and it was pretty bad. Anyway, hi girls. Hello. So, I think they close the gates after sunset. I don't know, but you're right. I don't want to get stuck in here. And guess what? Only one here. I'm the only one. I think that's kind of sad. But I've been keeping everybody company, everybody in the beautiful, beautiful cemetery. So look at this one. This one is my favorite. Check this out. Thank you, Marky Mark. It says, Captain, in my life, I loved you more. And then it says joy. That's the back of that headstone. Whoops, Stephen J. Weisberg. Beloved son, brother, and uncle. He was born in 1954 and he died in the year 2000. So anyway, I just thought that is so beautiful. In my life, I loved you more. Isn't that a Beatles song? And there was another one here that I really liked too. Where was it? Yeah, they always do stuff on the backs in this one. Anyway, this is a Jewish cemetery, by the way. And a lot of them say things like beloved mother, beloved father, sister, grandmother, mother. But some of them say other things. And I've never seen any headstone say anything really bad. And I always think that my mom's headstone is probably one of the funnier ones because I like to think that people go by and notice it and have a chuckle because that's something that she would enjoy. That's why we put it there. Yeah. You never saw the back of my mom's? I don't think we have anything on the back of my mom's. We'll go back to my mom's. But anyway, so in the garage of my mom's house, she was always making art and stuff. She's very artistic. She actually did oil painting. She was a very talented artist, very amazing. Anyway, she would make these little white boxes, like little jewelry boxes, plastic boxes, and she'd paint them and put people's names on them and little epitaphs and stuff like that. So she had written this one, and it was like this whole long poem, which I cannot for the life of me just recall off the top of my head, like I do with all the other songs that I remember, but this one I don't know, but at the end of it, it says, "Then let this be my epitaph. Her doctor was a whiz. She isn't always she isn't really dead at all. She only thinks she is." And so the poem had started about, when I have aches and pains or something, like it was like I'm a hypochondriac, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine." And of course, when I'm dead, they're gonna be like, "She's not even really dead." And that was just so my mom. Ex-husband. Heidi. Oh, Heidi. Anyway, you come to the cemetery, you learn about people. You really do. Beloved wife, beloved husband, and I thought the camera was around. And, the lot of the gravestones here in the Jewish cemetery are in Hebrew. Looks like Jeepers Creepers from behind. Dilly chilly, how well. Yeah, I can see where that could be. Anyway, we have all the flags on for the veterans in honor of the upcoming Memorial Day weekend. So, honor our veterans, honor those who fought for this country. Who dies with the biggest stone? Yeah, you wanna know who dies with the biggest stone right here? Well, it would be this dude, Pollock. Pollock's got the biggest stone. That looks like a big FU, doesn't it? I don't know. Anyway, so here's an idea for you if you have, family members in the cemetery and you wanna visit them, because I keep my relationships going even if they're not really here. Kathy, even if they're not really here physically, this is still my mom, still my grandparents. I'm gonna see them again someday. I know this for a fact. At least I hope so. Anyway, so that's why I come here. I had a picnic with my mom. Yeah, I ate some hard-boiled eggs in front of her gravestone. I put the radio on. We listened to Kansas together. I drank some water. It was awesome. We really had a good time. Like, I'll show you the remnants of it. I, sprinkled well, sprinkled, I did the eggs. Wait, where are the eggs? Yeah. See all the eggshells? Yeah, this way, maybe little critters will come up and hang out with her while I'm not here. Is it normal that it's not clean there? What do you mean it's not clean? Does this not look clean to you? It looks pretty dang clean to me. I mean, if anything doesn't look clean, it's me throwing eggshells all over my mother's gravesite, but, I'm still in Pennsylvania, Deb. Hi, Charlene. Do you think it's bad that put eggshells all over my mother's gravesite? They're biodegradable, right? And I'm thinking that they'll, nourish the area in front, give her good grass. I'm just saying. Usually you buy a bush. No, I'm not here. They like do it all themselves, and we'll feed the birds, exactly. And I'm not your horticulturist. I don't do well with plants, so no. My mother loves plants, but she can see them. They're all, they have like their own ways of doing things here. I'm not bringing plants. I brought seashells. I do what I can do. So, love the tree, carve your initials. Ooh, I do worry that would hurt the tree. Just saying. I thank you, user. I mean, Mr. Inappropriate. Jeff says, I'm the Jew from Malta. Love it. All right, you guys. Well, I gotta get in the car because I gotta head over to Ethan's and interview him. That'll be on Facebook for those of you who are on my Facebook Beach Report. Hopefully that'll work out. If not, we'll be back on YouTube. You never do know. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me and meeting my mom and my family. Victor says it seems like the Jewish community don't care about the graveyard. I thought it's maybe a cultural thing. Heck no, we care very much. I mean, I have met some Jews who are less than neat, but then again, I met some Christians who are less than neat. And there's just all kinds of people in the world, but it behooves us to honor those who came before us and took good care of us. And even though they are no longer with us physically, but they still, if they represent here in the cemetery, I'm going to come and hang out with them from time to time and show them that I love them. And I always will. I'm a loyal type of person like that. And you guys are going to appreciate that in the coming days when things were not so friendly and loyal and real. I'm gonna be the anti-AI. All right, you guys. I'm gonna be the Gen X of your dreams. Anyway, all right, got places to go, things to do, people to meet. We'll see you guys on the next beach report. They'll visit us in spirit, watch for signs, 100% Heidi. And like I said, Ray, he's always with me. All right, bye guys. Thank you for spending this time with me. Um, Jewish people left the place. I don't know. We can only guess. You know, people make a lot of assumptions, and that's just not the best thing to do. All right, we'll see you guys later on the next beach report. Ciao for now.